These events includes, one is, these events includes, say, new public administration. It includes NPA, public choice theory, public choice approach, the second Minnebrook conference, right? Minnebrook 1, 2 conference, then new public management, then the concept of good governance, right? Then likewise, even you can take this public service approach. So these are different significant events. These are different significant events which has impacted the growth of public administration. So public administration as a discipline, then public administration as the practice. That is, both the theory and practice of public administration, they were influenced by these events. All right. So in today's session, we will talk about, let me talk about one of such event, that is new public administration. So which was coined by Dwight Waldo. It was Dwight Waldo who has given this concept of new public administration after the, that is, after this, during the first Minnebrook conference. All right. So NPA has emerged. NPA has emerged during the first Minnebrook conference. During first Minnebrook conference of 1968. So remember, this new public administration has emerged as a result of dissatisfaction with the traditional public administration. So it has emerged because of dissatisfaction with the traditional public administration. That is, with the theory of traditional public administration. Not only this, dissatisfaction with the, because of dissatisfaction caused because of unresponsive political and administrative systems. All right. So dissatisfaction caused because of theory of traditional public administration, and dissatisfaction caused because of unresponsive political and administrative systems. All right. So unresponsiveness of the government, unresponsiveness of the bureaucracy towards the contemporary problems of American society. That means new public administration has emerged because of the conditions of American public administration. Sorry, because of American society. So it is the conditions of American society. It is the conditions of American society which led to, it is the conditions of American society which has led to emergence of new public administration. So new public administration so definitely had roots in America, right? So simply the administrative system and the political system, they were not responding to the turbulent times of America. Remember, 1960s is regarded, the entire decade of 1960s is regarded as a turbulent times within American society. All right, because it is regarded as turbulent times because people were dissatisfied with the working of government. They came on to roads. There was civil rights movement. All right, there was a kind of revolutionary, a kind of revolts within the American society. The reason for all these things, the reason for all this turbulence is, one is dissatisfaction because of dissatisfaction with the America's involvement in Vietnam War. We know, right? We know America has actively involved in Vietnam War in the name of containing communism. Right? So there was an increased population, unemployment, increased poverty, right? Racial discrimination in in the American society, particularly in what you call American universities as well as employment. So there were growing inequalities between blacks and whites, right? So assault against the black Americans. So all these were present, and even this turbulence can be seen from the fact of assassination of John F. Kennedy, the American president who was assassinated. So assassination of American president itself is an evidence that there is an increased discontent. There is an increased discontent among the Americans against the government. The government has totally failed. So because it is out of this dissatisfaction, the scholars of public administration, right, in this conference, in this Minnowbrook conference, they gave a call for reorientation of public administration by infusing, by injecting, right, normative concerns, by injecting values within public administration, by bringing a new dimension, new orientation, new goals to the public administration. Right? So this is the basic background. Right? So whenever we talk about new public administration, definitely it is because of the turbulent times of America, the turbulent times of 1960s. Right? So the scholars of public administration, particularly, they were concerned about the identity of public administration. Right? So because by this time, that is by 1960s, public administration was passing through a rough phase where it has lost its academic identity. Public administration has lost its academic identity. Right? We know the fourth phase, that is from 1948 to 1917. At least we have seen this in our previous classes. Right? Where, right, because of rejecting the fundamental principles, or because of rejection of the basic themes or fundamental themes of public administration as a discipline has lost its identity. All right. So this is what happened. This is what happened in public administration. All right. So PubMed has lost its identity. So scholars were worried about the identity of public administration. Serious concerns were raised on the elements of efficiency and economy in the public administration. The young generation scholars, the scholars of public administration, they have questioned growing importance or giving importance to efficiency and what you call economy. They have rejected these what you call these elements within public administration. That is not rejected, to be frank to say. They say that more than efficiency and economy, it is the social concerns of public administration that should dominate. They said that public administration is meant to solve the human problems. Public administration is meant to provide solutions by using policies, by using programs to solve the ongoing problems or contemporary problems of society. Public administration is meant to serve society, not to not to give much importance, not to give much importance to what you call efficiency or economy. So new public administration scholars, the scholars who attended the first Group conference, they have questioned this what you call growing concerns for efficiency and economy in traditional public administration. They have questioned the value neutrality of public administration, and they have demanded to restore the values, the publicness within public administration. Right? So this is one point. Right? So it was during this period. So many initiatives were taken. Many initiatives were taken to restore the identity of public administration. Efforts were made to restore the importance or the identity of public administration. Some of the landmark events are, one is Honey Report on Higher Education for Public Services, Philadelphia Conference, both on the theory and practice of public administration. Philadelphia Conference on theory and practice of public administration. All right. Then the Minnebrook One Conference, the the first Minnebrook Conference under the aegis of Dwight Waldo, and it was during this time we see publication of we see certain publications which gave a call for regenerating public administration. The most important publications includes, all right, public administration in the time of turbulence, which was written by Dwight Waldo. Public administration in the times of turbulence. Public administration, right, in the time of revolutions, which were written by Dwight Waldo. Right, towards new public administration, Minnebrook perspective, written by George Frederickson. All right. So it is these what we call publications which have given rise to new public administration. Right. So these are some of the landmark events. So along with the Honey Report, Philadelphia Conference, that even these publications, the publications of Dwight Waldo and George Frederickson, they are seen as some of the landmark events, right, to restore the identity of public administration, to bring a distinctiveness to public administration. So remember, so efforts were made to make public administration as a distinct discipline within American universities. So by this time, because of rejection of the basic themes of public administration, such as principles or science of public administration or dichotomy. So because of this, public administration has lost all its what we call importance. No, the scholars of public administration, they have tried to their best to bring out the distinct identity of public administration. Right, particularly people like John Honey. Just now we have talked about Honey Report. So John Honey of Syracuse University, right? Right. It is people like Honey. It is people like what you call James Charlesworth. Philadelphia Conference. Philadelphia Conference was what you call chaired by James Charlesworth. Right. So it is these people, Dwight Waldo. Right. So the scholars made their what you call their contributions only with intention to make public administration alive as a distinct academic discipline. And in this process, as I said, Honey Report on Higher Education. So John Honey has found out some of the reasons for decline of public administration as an academic status, as an academic discipline. So decline of status of public administration in universities. So according to Honey Report, there were certain problems which has confronted the discipline of public administration. So one is uncertainty and confusion over the status of public administration. Uncertainty and confusion over the status of public administration. So first of all, the first confusion is on the first uncertainty and confusion. It is on the institutional location of public administration. In the previous classes, we have talked about locus and focus. So what do you mean by locus? What do you mean by locus?
Location of the public administration.
So where public administration is, it is about where of public administration. That is institutional location. The issue is about the institutional location of public administration. So where is public administration? We don't have any clarity. No one knows, because right, some people say that, some scholars say that it is within political science. No, some say that it is a separate discipline. Some say that it is a part of management. So there is a confusion There is a confusion over the institutional location of public administration. There is a confusion over the institutional location of public administration. This is one reason. Uncertainty. Is there any specific theory of public administration? People, scholars started questioning, right, about the specific theory of public administration. Is there any specific theory of public administration?
No, sir.
Right. So because, right, if you take this theory of public administration, we have contributions made from the other vertical disciplines, particularly from management. You take Taylor, you take Fayol. Do they really belong to public administration? Whether they are the scholars of public administration? Definitely not. People like Herbert Simon, Robert Dahl, they have questioned this theory. So because of this, there is an increased confusion, uncertainty and confusion over the status of public administration. On the other hand, according to Honey report, right, lack of finances, inadequate funds, right, at the disposal of universities to promote the discipline of public administration. Right, definitely. So it requires the support of government. It requires support of government. Without the support of government, it is not possible. It is not possible to have without the support of government, it is not possible to promote anything in universities, to promote any kind of activity, including promoting a new discipline. So because of these factors, lack of communication between the practicing administrators as well as the scholars of public administration. So the last point is very important. Lack of communication between the scholars and practitioners of public administration. So why this communication is required? Why this coordination is required between the scholars and practitioners? Why it is required? The reason is it is required because so why this coordination is required? Any theory can be developed only when there is a knowledge of empirical reality. All right. So without having the knowledge on empirical reality, the actual reality, it is not possible. It is not possible to develop a theory. A theory development, that is what Simon preferred, Riggs preferred, empirical studies along with the normative studies. Empirical research. Empirical studies or empirical research is always given importance. Empirical studies or empirical research, it is always given importance. It is always given importance to have a best theory. A theory building can take place. A theory building can take place only with the help of empirical realities. Now, who has the knowledge of the reality? Whether scholars or practitioners? Who has the knowledge of reality?
Practitioners, sir.
So practitioners have the knowledge of reality. They know what is the practical problems. So when scholars take note of these practical problems, then they can find out a best solution for it. So without knowing the problems, without knowing the actual problems, without knowing the actual reality, theory building is not possible. Or if at all, If at all any theory that is built, it is unsuitable. Right? So public administration, right? The theory of public administration can be best built only with the help of coordination between the academic scholars as well as the practicing administrators. So according to Honey report, there was no such communication or coordination between the scholars and practitioner administrators. All right. So this is a major problem. So it is because of these factors, according to Honey report, public administration has lost its identity. Because of this problem, public administration has lost its identity. So what to do to overcome this? What should be done to overcome this? All right. So definitely, all right, there should be adequate resources. All right, there should be an encouragement for higher studies in public administration. There should be interlinking between different disciplines of social sciences, particularly right linking between the scholars and practitioner administrators. And Honey report even recommended setting up of a national commission for public service education to provide adequate research in this field. So this is what said by Honey report. So providing of funds, encouraging higher studies in public administration, interlinking public administration with other social sciences, then what you call interlinking public administration, that is the academic public administration with the practicing administrators. If these are done, all right, then definitely, according to Honey report, right, public administration will retain its distinct identity. All right. So this is one of the landmark, or this is one of the event that took place. Not event. This is one of the efforts. This is one of the efforts made, all right, to restore the identity of public administration. All right. So another major landmark event, that is the Minnebrook Conference, the first Minnebrook Conference that was held in 1968. All right. Remember, the first Minnebrook Conference was held in 1968. And for every 20 years, right, there will be a conference. So the second one was held in 1988, the third one in 2008, and the next one will be in 2028. So the one who are writing mains in 2028, they should expect a question on first this conference. They should expect. So it is far away from now, right? It is far away from now, right? So we should not think up to 28, right? So it should be within, right? 25, 24 or 25, karo ya maro. Whatever you want, just do it. Right? So whatever you want, do it within 25. Right? So if you take this first Minnebrook conference, right? As I said, this Minnebrook conference was held in the backdrop of turbulent times of America. Just now I have explained what is that turbulent times mean, why it should be regarded as turbulent times. So what was done? So how American society has reacted in this turbulent times? All right. So this first Minnebrook conference was held right in the backdrop of this turbulent times of 1960s under the guidance, under the chairmanship, under the aegis of Dwight Waldo. All right. So they were concerned. So it was attended by young generation scholars. It was scholars of public administration who were trained in public administration. Remember, it was a conference of young scholars trained in public administration. Trained in public administration. So I'm stressing this point because when we compare first conference with the second conference, we should use this point. All right. And they are very young people like you, below the age of 25 years, right? Who has a boiling blood, all right, without any brain. Am I correct? Buddhas will
No,
do
sir.
the same, and youth just follow the Buddhas. All right. So we know what happened in our history. Don't forget our history. All right. The kind of revolution terrorism, Anushil Samti, all right, HRA, HSRA, and also we can use that what you call examples. So we can bring in that here. They were more younger, and it is out of this. And even when we evaluate NPA, when we want to evaluate NPA, you can use this what you call point of young generation, because all right, they have no much thinking. They are radical in their views. They are more radical in their views. So this radicalness is one of the criticisms on NPA. That is the reason I am stressing this point. All right. So it was attended by young generation scholars. So it is the scholars. It is the scholars. All right. Who has attended and who has been, these scholars, they were very critical about the traditional public administration. They were critical. They were critical. That is, they have criticized. They have criticized the basic elements of traditional public administration, and they always wanted to inculcate, right, a newness in the form of social equity, in the form of values, in the form of normativeness within public administration, right? So let us try to understand the major points of concern, or let us try to understand the issues or the concerns on which the first Minute conference has focused. All right. So first one on the public policy approach of public administration. All right. So this new public administration, they have criticized alienation of public administration from public policy. So if you take the emergence of public administration as a discipline, all right, public administration as a discipline, so it has emerged, right? It got totally divided from public policy. So there is a total divide. It itself has got separated from, it itself has got separated from political science, particularly the policy, which has made public administration more value neutral, which has lost, that is, getting away from public policy, right? Because of getting away from public policy, public administration has become more mechanical, less human. All right. So this was the point which was criticized by the young generation scholars, or the it was criticized in first Minabrook conference. They say that public policy approach to public administration is an important element of what you call public administration, right? And involvement of bureaucracy, involvement of practicing administrator in the policy process is a vital element of the government. It is a vital element of government. Do you accept or not? Do you accept that public administration and public bureaucracy should focus on public policy? The quality of government is always determined by the quality of policies. It is the quality of policies that will determine. It is the quality of policies that will determine the quality of government. Now, when there can be efficient and effective policies, where it is possible only by amateur politicians,
No, sir.
So quality policies will not be possible. Quality policies is not possible by amateur politicians. It requires participation of bureaucracy. It requires participation of public administration within it. So without participation of bureaucracy, there cannot be quality in government, particularly in public policies. So concern was on role of public administration, role of administrators in policy, public policies. All right. The scholars were more concerned about growing importance or giving more importance to efficiency and economy in the implementation. All right. When we talk about implementation, whether efficiency and economy are the only things which are important, whether efficiency and economy are the only things which are important.
Effectiveness is also important.
So here, effective delivery. What do you mean by effective? When there will be effective delivery? Effective delivery will be there only when you show concern to the people. All right. Only when you show the concern to the needy one. That is, there should be values in the implementation. Implementation is not a mechanical process. Implementation is not a what you call. It is not an element of technocrat. Bureaucrat should not become a technocrat. Right? So, what's the difference between a technocrat and a bureaucrat? What's the difference between a technocrat and a public administrator? Technocrats, they are mostly involved. They give importance. They are concerned only with efficiency and economy. But for a public administrator, for a public bureaucrat, the most important criteria to judge their performance is the service delivered, right? The humanness in the service delivered, the values, the honesty in the service delivered. That is more important, not the efficiency and economy. They are important, we cannot deny it, but they should not dominate. Efficiency and economy should not dominate. What should dominate is, all right, it is the, what should dominate is, it is the, what you call, humanness in providing the services. Humanness, right, ethicalness in the implementation. All right. So the young generation scholars, they gave importance to this element of social equity. They gave importance to this element of what you call justice, distributive justice in service delivery. Public administration always calls for NPS, sorry, new public administration always calls for distributive justice in public service delivery. All right. So, as I said, values such as ethics, honesty, responsibility are the key elements in providing of public service. All right. So, if you take the traditional public administration, so another point of concern of this Minerbrook conference was the what do you call the status quo attitude of traditional public administration. So traditional public administration is status quo oriented. Status quo oriented. What do you mean by status quo oriented? It is a discipline. It is a discipline which only maintains, which only preserves. The best word is preserves. It only preserves the existing society. But public administration is not meant only to preserve, but also bring a social change. So Minerbrook conference, right, it has criticized or it has took note of this status quo orientation of traditional public administration and gave a call for change. and gave a call for change within the society. All right. So traditional public administration has been criticized for this status quo orientedness, and the scholars of new public administration, right, they gave a call for bringing change. Right. So government is not just meant to promote growth. Along with growth, what is required is bringing social change. Social change by allowing citizenry participation, by allowing the participation of people, by allowing people participation along with it. That is active participation of citizens. It is active participation of citizens. Right. So this is an what you call new public administration. New public administration has given a call for this, right? People orientation, or a public administration which allows people to participate along with it, right? So this is another what you call uh, another prescription given by new public administrators, that is the scholars of new public administration. They have challenged, the NPA has challenged, the Minobrook conference has challenged, right, the concern of traditional public administration on rules, hierarchy, division of, that is on the mechanical principles, the concept of hierarchy particularly. It has criticized, it has criticized the hierarchical organization of public administration. So this is the most important element which has been criticized and challenged by, right, the scholars of NPA or PCA, that is public choice approach, or the new public management, right?